Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, aboard the Carnival Conquest as we make our way to the all-new Celebration Key. Today we have a day at sea where we show you what life is really like on board a Carnival cruise ship. We're going to take you guys on a tour of the ship as well as indulge in a day at sea brunch, show you my new favorite hidden gem on a cruise ship, and party the night away with an 80s deck party. We have all of that in today's video and so much more up next. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to day 2 of our cruise on board the Carnival Conquest as we make our way over to Celebration Key. Today we have a day at sea, which means it's going to be a day of exploring the ship. There are still so many spaces and so many venues that we have yet to explore and yet to check out and show you guys. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we do that, we're going to have an awesome brunch in the main dining room. But before we even do that, we gotta assert dominance. There's a Harry Potter trivia happening in about 10 minutes. So we're gonna make our way down to the lobby right now and we're gonna try our luck at some Harry Potter trivia to see if I can come out on top and possibly win one of those really cool medallions. So it's gonna be a fun day, guys. Let's get started. They might as well be in the room, by the way. Before we head on out though, I want to talk about the bed situation. Surprisingly, a lot more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. You know, typically I'm more of a firm bed guy, but these beds are a bit squishy, but the pillows are great. I slept pretty well. I will say, I have an amenity kit over here from United that has earplugs and an eye mask. 100% necessary. Not necessarily the eye mask part, but earplugs. Bring earplugs. Oh my gosh, because you can hear everything going on outside the door with those vents. And apparently, we had some shenanigans happening last night right after I went to sleep, huh?
Yeah, there's some kiddos ding-dong knocking.
Ding-dong ditching?
Ding-dong ditching. they're knocking on all the doors up, just running. Boom!
Oh no.
I joined them about halfway through.
I didn't hear any of that, so yeah, earplugs are definitely necessary. I will say, on my way down to the lobby, my confidence was pretty up there, but looking at the other people who are here competing, my confidence has gone down a little bit.
Carnival Conquest family, how's everybody doing this morning?
People here seem pretty confident.
Family, come on. My name is Lewis. I'm from your fun squad. I also have the honor and privilege of being your comedy club host this cruise, and I come all the way from the beautiful state of Mississippi. What part of the Mississippi you from? My dude, I'm from Jackson too. I'm from Jackson. Wait, what part? South Jackson. I'm from the South, okay? Where are all my Southern cruisers at? Where are you? Okay, cool. Where are my Northern cruisers at? From the East? Nobody. From the West? Midwest. Anytime I say West, that's not gonna work. Question number 1. What model broom did Harry first receive? Number 2. What do Hermione's parents do for a living? Number 3. Hogwarts, Beauxbatons, and what other school compete in the Tri-Wizard Tournament? Number 4. What does the spell Obliviate do to the person who it is performed on? OWLs are the standardized tests taken by Hogwarts students in the 5th film. What does the O stand for?
Okay, we're all done with trivia. We're about to go over the answers.
The best policy.
I'm feeling confident. There's a couple that were like, I don't know.
I want y'all's opinion on something. I took the Harry Potter class course.
Okay,
Who's gonna teach you how to dance like Tina Turner? Let's give it up for Thorin and Bronte.
3 wrong. We'll see what happens.
If you came to the Welcome Board show
there's someone across the way who's wearing a Hufflepuff hat.
To their show,
they seem like they know what they're doing. Okay, 17 out of 20 was not enough. The winner had 19 out of 20, and there were actually 2 people who had that. It was a really solid trivia. I really enjoyed it. There were a couple in there that really stumped me. I don't know where the heck I'm going. I think we got to go this way. There were a couple questions in there that really stumped me, but it was a lot of fun. I wish Coda were here to help me out with that because she is an even bigger Harry Potter nerd than I am. But still, we had a blast. Okay, so you guys probably remember this from yesterday where we came over here for the main dining room for dinner. We're back for brunch, but it's not quite our time yet. We had to check in on the app, and it's about a 10 to 20 minute wait, so they will give us a call when they're actually ready for us to go in and eat. But we figured we would come out here and explore some of the different lounges that are in the back of the ship. We can't go inside the Degas lounge right now because they're doing a military appreciation event, and we are not military. We have Vincent's over here, which is like the Sunflower Lounge, but there's a private function going on right now. So we're just gonna kind of make our way around this way and explore until they call us. Let's see what they got. So right around the corner we have the Alchemy Bar, and this is a pretty decent sized space, mostly used for walking, but we were over here yesterday and it was pretty hopping. There were quite a few people hanging out over here. It is still before noon. It's 11:30 in the morning right now, so of course the bar is not going to be open. But right next door over here we have the piano bar. Look at this. This is really nice. All the windows are open. We have a bar over here with a bunch of keys. They don't actually function, but the piano is here in the center, which is really cool. And then you come around over here, we have a whole bunch more space to hang out. This looks like a nice place to chill and listen to some piano music. We're continuing our walk, and we're right outside of a venue called Henry's, but check this out. It's like a hard plastic material, but it looks like ripples in the water. I really like that. Also, I want to point out all the flowers that are like practically everywhere on the ship. It's just flowers galore. It's like the theme of, or motif, I don't really know. And then there's a whole bunch of European artwork on the ceilings and on the walls. It is so different. So yesterday evening, all down this hallway, there were a bunch of photo backdrops. And prior to the backdrops coming out, we were walking down this area, and I said, I really love this space, this hallway with all the seating over here. It looks really nice, and it looks like a nice place to hang out. But as soon as all the backdrops came up, they got rid of a lot of the seating, and the space instantly felt a lot more claustrophobic. So I definitely love how they have it here during the day. And I don't really know where else they would put backdrops in the evening, but still something to think about. So it's just a little critique. I wish they would put the backdrop somewhere else because it really ruins the whole vibe and aesthetic of this area. Looks like brunch is pretty popular this morning. All these folks are waiting for their table to be called. Busy in here. Oh my goodness. Popular. Oh, right by the window. Thank you so much. Perfect. Love to see it.
Great spot.
I know, we got a window view. Look at that. Window's a little bit smudgy, but nothing too crazy. We can still see the water. I'm excited. So we have made it inside the Monet restaurant for brunch. It took about 30 minutes for us to actually get a table after we checked in on the app, so just make sure you bear that in mind and make sure you plan ahead a little bit. It did say 10 to 20 minutes when we first checked in. So either way, let's go ahead and take a look at the menu and see what's inside. Okay, starting things off, we have our fresh pressed juices. We have a bunch of different options over here for $6. We have bread basket options, croissant, Danish muffins, bagels. We have cereals and such. I'm not going to be naming absolutely everything. You guys can go ahead and pause to read. What's a brunch without some burgers? That looks really cool. We have some house specials. Ooh, French toast, okay. We have brunch classics, including eggs Benedict and omelets. We have steak and eggs. I definitely think I'm going to be going for that. We have Emerald's Bistro options, which include shrimp and grits and beignets for an added cost. We have different side options, and of course our desserts and kids menu. So it's important to note that C-Day brunch is free and included. You just have to make the reservation and be patient to get in here. There are a couple of options on the menu that are an added charge, but all in all, everything looks fantastic. I have no idea what the limit is as far as how much you can order. I'm gonna ask. Not that I'm gonna order the whole menu, but I just want to know what the limit is, because if there's a limit at dinner in the main dining room, then I assume that there might be a limit here. Okay, we just submitted our orders for brunch, and they said there's really no limit. They just ask that you don't waste food. So if you're ordering something, they just ask that you do your best to finish it, which makes complete and total sense. So that's really good. You don't have a limit or anything. So I opted for the Eggs Benedict, the Salmon Eggs Benedict, because I have to compare between the different cruise lines. I got the steak and eggs, and I opted for the chicken and waffles because I really wanted to try that. So we'll see. I'm 99% sure I'm going to be able to finish it all. It is going on noon right now. I haven't eaten anything today, and we ate pretty early last night. I didn't eat anything last night in anticipation for this, so we'll see. I think I can finish those off. It also depends on the portion too. If the portions are big, then we're in trouble. All right, brunch has arrived. Take a look at that. We have steak and eggs with 2 French fries. Over here we have our salmon eggs Benedict. It looks really tasty. And then we have our chicken and waffles. Not bad at all. And Steven got his as well. Okay, Carnival brunch review. They are 3 out of 3 for meal services on this cruise, which is fantastic. And again, very shocking. My expectations for the food on Carnival were low, but they have exceeded them greatly. The food here, all very solid. The only disappointing thing about this meal was the waffle under the chicken. It was a little stale. You can tell that it had been sitting out for a little while before they put the chicken on top. But the chicken itself, seasoned really great, tasted fantastic on its own. It was moist, it was hot and juicy, and the like syrup that I put on top, it made everything so much better. So that was really good. The salmon eggs Benedict, it was okay. It was decent. It wasn't like anything that blew my mind, but it was good and on par with what we would get on Royal or Disney. So that was solid over there. The brunch potatoes weren't my favorite. They were a little over seasoned in my opinion and a little too spicy, but the hash browns, which I didn't show you guys, unfortunately. I didn't get a video, but they came over later and they gave us a couple of hash browns, the breakfast hash browns. Really solid. I love those. Honestly, my favorite hash browns between Disney and Royal, like the Carnival hash browns, are my favorite. Those are so good. And the steak was pretty decent as well. So overall, very solid meal. I'm happy. I'm full. I'm ready to take on the rest of the day now. Very much so worth it. If you are on Carnival and you have a sea day brunch, definitely do it. It is solid. Well guys, we found Jesus on Royal Caribbean. It's only fitting that we find him on Carnival as well. There you go, look at that. We found Jesus. So I know we kind of touched on this venue a little bit yesterday, but this is Alfred's Bar. And as you can see, there's nothing going on in here right now, but there's a wide open space. I assume they do some kind of like dancing or karaoke or something, but something that's really cool. I feel tall in here because I can actually touch the ceiling, which is very rare for me as someone who is a whopping 5'5", which is awesome. But here's something that's a little confusing, is that we're on, what is this? Is this deck 4? I think we're on 4. And there's an outside area over here. And this is where we did our muster drill. I don't know if this is like a public guest area or not, because this is the most rundown looking part of the whole ship. I think this is a crew area, and I think they only utilize this for guests if there's like, you know, the muster drill going on, or if there's like an actual emergency. I think this is where they load all the lifeboats and stuff. But still, it's very interesting that they have the windows open and you can see in here, but I don't think it's like an actually accessible area. It's interesting. If we can go back out there, I will, and I will show you guys more in depth of what it looks like. If not, then we just have the footage from yesterday to work with, but interesting. So we did find a door to the outside over here, but a crew member was coming in the ship from out that area, if that makes any sense. And we asked him, and he said, yes, this is a crew members only area, but you can like visibly see it from guest areas of the ship. Really weird. What are you doing? It'd be really cool if there were like hidden buttons that like did things around the ship.
Oh, it spins.
let's not do that. I found another deck. We were making our way up from deck 4 to deck 5, and he was just chilled there. Yay! Do you squeak? No, you do not squeak, unfortunately. But you're like a little shiny metallic color. Over here on deck 5, we have the entrance to the video arcade. Let's go ahead and do a quick walkthrough. We have our classic claw machines over here. All of these are rigged, never play them, even though Coda insists on doing so. You can win some different electronics prizes. We have some iPads, there's even a PS5, there's some Bose headphones, even an iPhone, some GoPros, in case you feel like making donations through here rather than the casino, even though it's basically a casino. Look at that, you can win an Xbox Series X. You have Duck Depot, that's really cool. It's play till you win.
That's the duck that you just got.
Oh yeah, it is the duck that I just got, look at that. You can win a giant Mario, that's cool. We have some ticket games over here, more electronic stuff. We have a whole bunch of other games, and then this is where we have all the other stuff. Holy moly.
Boy, what is he doing? Do the orange justice. Oh! I forget how that is. What the heck? Oh, that was
And in case you guys are interested in buying arcade credits, you can see $100 for 800 tokens. There's 80 for 550, 60 for 365, 40 for 225, and 20 for 100. And just for reference, this particular game over here called Pop the Lock is worth 8 tokens. And then this Rabbids VR ride is worth 26 tokens. And then if you want to win a duck, it'll be 6 tokens. And if you want to play for an Xbox Series X, it'll be 12 tokens, just to give you guys an idea of the range that you're looking at. Over here on deck 5, we have the entrance to Club 02, which is the ages 15 to 17 club. We're not going to be filming anything inside over there. You can kind of see the inside, but this is your teen hangout area. Over here we have Cafe Fans. This is an upcharge cafe where you can get several different specialty coffees and snacks. We have cookies over here that are $2.50 each. We have some Carnival Conquest mugs, very similar to what you would find at Starbucks for like You Are Here mugs. So that's really cool. Here's a look at the menu for Cafe Fans in case you guys are curious as to what they have and what the pricing is. And then here's a look at some of the danishes and donuts that they have. These look really good, but quite expensive for $4. But look at that, that thing is massive, holy cow. And then we have another little gift shop over here called Carnival Adventures. You can get some random Carnival merchandise items. You have different water shoes. You have Yetis. These are actual Yetis. Holy cow. Never seen that before. We have snorkel gear. We have Carnival Adventures bags. We have waterproof phone cases. Look at that. You can even get a Misty fan that's in the shape of a whale tail. That's kind of cool. I like that. We have some more Carnival Yetis. I'm very surprised that they're actual like Yeti brands, so they're probably really expensive. But it's like etched in there with laser, Carnival Conquest, and the rest of the Carnival logos. We have Carnival branded water shirts. Actually, this is a regular t-shirt, but this is really cool. It says Cruising the Caribbean. We have our water shirts over here with the Caribbean Sea, and it says, what is it? It says the Caribbean Adventure, or no, it just says the Caribbean with Carnival Adventures. What is that, a fidget toy? That is so interesting. Hey, keep yourself entertained.
Perfect for the kids.
Or the kid at heart who likes to play with bubble wrap. Because it's kind of similar. It doesn't make a popping sound, but it's the same sensation.
I would buy it if it made a popping sound. Oh, did you hear that?
It does.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, game changer. How much is it?
$3.
$3? Honestly, not bad. That's kind of cool. I'm not going to buy it, but hey, it's interesting. Okay, so let me know. What do you guys think of this hat? Because you guys know me. I love to wear snapbacks. And it's actually a really nice hat. And it's only $5 too. And it's a decent material hat. The only thing that I don't like is that it comes to a point over here. And I feel like it makes me look a little weird. But the hat's only $5. So, very tempted. Very tempted. The only thing that concerns me is that when I sweat, it'll show up super easily with the discoloration over here. So this would be like a wintertime hat, or maybe something that I would just wear on the ship where I'm less likely to sweat. I don't know, but still, $5, that's a steal. Moving further on, down on deck 5, we have our row of more higher end stores. So you can see we have some Louis Vuitton bags over here. We have some Chanel perfumes, Coco Chanel, Gucci. We have Invicta watches. Let's take a quick walk inside just to see what they got. We have some iTouch watches, some other watches, a bunch of watches, sunglasses.
Everything you're gonna see is gonna be up to 50% off plus additional $200.
And take a look at that. They even have a Pandora store. So here's something that I haven't seen in a long time. An actual like photo gallery with physical photos out on display. That is so interesting. Look at all of these photos of people that they have out on display. That is retro, old school. Like, I wonder, like, do Carnival on the newer ships have a photo gallery like that, or do they have machines that you could just look at them digitally?
On the newest ship, they don't have the printouts like this. They do have the machines, but a lot of the Carnival fleet does this, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's like retro. That's old school cruising.
But they do have the digital console, so you can look at all your pictures.
Oh, okay, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so then, yeah, that helps.
Okay, that was too easy. That was too easy. That was so easy. I even saw a few people write it out before I even played it.
So we're observing hip hop and R&B music trivia, and it's a full house down there on deck 3 of the Atrium. And it's so funny to hear all the reactions of people. They're playing like a second, maybe, of some of these songs, and people are instantly recognizing it, and they're knowing it, and they're getting excited. It's really funny to hear and just observe all the reactions. I'm really happy that we stuck around for this one. We're not competing ourselves because, I don't know about you, we don't look like hip hop and R&B people, but it's still fun to watch.
To the folks that just joined us, no, this isn't karaoke. This is Guess That Song. We bring it to you. Okay, I did it. Oh!
So we came back to the room for just a little bit to kind of recuperate ourselves and grab a couple things before we head back out. You can see our beds have been made, but we have a towel animal. It's a little piggy. Look at him. He is adorable with the eyes and everything. Coda would have loved him. Made it up to deck 10, and here is a look at the pool area at just before 2:30 in the afternoon. You can see it is fairly busy up here. Lots of folks out here enjoying the pool. You can see the water slide over here as well. Several other pool areas and hot tubs. Great place to be on a sea day. And I will say, I'm actually very surprised. The weather is not all that bad. It is hot, but there's a really nice breeze, so it doesn't feel terrible. So we're here on deck 10 aft, and this is the main buffet down here. I think it's called the Lido Buffet. The buffet is actually on deck 9, but over here on deck 10, we actually have a barbecue place that I believe is included. Now, we're not going to be getting a lot of food. I just want to try something just to sample it. You can see Steven over there. He's getting some food now. But this is still really cool. We're going to try and come down here a little bit later when we're done having a snack and filming the buffet area, because yesterday it was an absolute madhouse with so many people and we weren't able to film it. So yeah, this is all I got to try. Just a bit of mac and cheese and some smoked beef. I'm a bit of a barbecue snob, so I'm excited to try it. Okay, unfortunately, this is our first miss of the cruise when it comes to food. Now, to be fair, we went up there and got our food literally 5 minutes before they closed. It is just after 2:30 right now, which is when they closed, and we showed up 5 minutes before. So the food isn't the best. And how I judge barbecue is it's good if you don't need sauce. If you get a meat and you can enjoy it without any sauce, then that's good barbecue. The sauce should only enhance it. Unfortunately, it's not good without the sauce. I tried it on its own, wasn't that good, very dry, kind of bland. The sauce is what really enhanced it. The mac and cheese, on the other hand, was pretty solid. Is it the best mac and cheese I've ever had? No, absolutely not. But it is solid mac and cheese, and it is above average mac and cheese. So I guess it's okay, but overall I think it's a miss. And it should be worth noting that this barbecue place is only open for lunch. So if you were looking for something barbecue related for dinner, unfortunately you're not going to get it. But it is another food option that is included on the ship, which is always good. The more included food options you have on a ship, the better. Okay, so we're making our way down from deck 10 over to deck 9 to get a look at the buffet. So the buffet is closed currently, but here is a look at the buffet area. We can come on down over here and we can see the line where all the food would be. It's currently transitioning from lunch over to dinner. Right now, the buffet lunch closes at 2:30, but then it transforms into dinner. This, we saw earlier, was full of the dessert items, which is really cool. They had like a bunch of cookies and cakes and cheesecakes and things. And then we have some more seating down there, as well as seating on the opposite side. It is also worth noting that there are beverage stations in several locations throughout the buffet. You can see we have ice and water. We have our complimentary cups over here. You can get, again, some more ice and water. And then we have other complimentary options like lemonade and iced tea. This one doesn't say it, but it's also iced tea. I also want to point out that there are hand washing stations at this entrance by the elevator bay, but by no means do they make anybody wash their hands, and they don't ask anybody to wash their hands. They're just kind of here. So just be aware of that. If cleanliness is your thing, then I would avoid the buffets and self-service locations. Also, they have a pour your own beer stand. So that's really cool. You obviously have to pay for it. It says 50 cents per ounce. I don't know how it works. You have a card scan station, so I assume it's just based off of how much you actually pour.
Oh, 14 ounces, approximately $7.
Made our way inside the solarium where we have Pizza Pirate. This is the pizza place on board, the one and only place where you can get pizza. The line is quite lengthy. Let's get a look at the pool. The solarium is a very busy and very popular place today. The pool is absolutely jam-packed, and I never actually noticed the hot tubs over there in the back. That's cool. Ooh, and take a look at this. You have a seafood shack. This isn't complimentary by any means, but it is still really cool. Take a look at this. I don't think any of these are real, by the way, but it's still really cool. You have different snow crabs, you have prawns, lobsters, oysters. What the heck? Let's take a look at the menu over here real quick. Let's see, fried buffalo shrimp, clam strips, fried calamari, different shrimps and clams combo, lobster rolls. We have clam chowder, crab cakes. Oh my gosh. So we made our way back inside the buffet and we're coming out on the opposite end, but I want to point out this other, it looks like complimentary venue to get food over here. It's called the Deli Artisan Eats, and the menu's over there, but there is quite a line for this food over here. Holy moly. So here's a quick look at the menu for the deli. We have hot and cold options. You guys can go ahead and pause to read if you want to take a closer look, but there's quite a few options here, which is awesome. And all of this is complimentary. So just past the deli location over here, a little bit further down as we're making our way closer to midship, there's a whole nother section of the buffet over here. I didn't even realize this. We kind of quickly walked through here yesterday trying to find a table, and we didn't even notice this. It was just wall-to-wall people yesterday. And there's a whole nother staircase that leads up to deck 10. And it looks like this actually leads to the specialty restaurant, which is called the Point Steakhouse. The Point. So on one side we have the Deli, on the opposite side we have Bonsai Sushi Express. This is an extra charge sushi restaurant. Here's a quick look at the menu. Unfortunately, this is all an added charge. Let's see, either sushi or sashimi. It's $2.50 a piece. You have ebi, sake, and maguro, yellowfin tuna. Okay, that's cool. $9 a roll or $10 a roll. You have California roll, spicy tuna, bang bang bonsai roll, or a tempura roll. And then you have poke bowls. And yes, Carnival Cruise Line does have complimentary soft serve ice cream out on the open deck. Unfortunately, they didn't have any more cones. They also didn't have any spoons, but they had bowls. So we came inside the buffet area and got a fork. So let's go ahead and give this a try.
Got it. Are you ready? I don't think everyone's ready. Let's see. Let's see.
All right, guys, the current time is 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and we don't really have anything else scheduled right now until 6 o'clock, which is dinner time in the main dining room. We're going to go ahead and take a quick nap because we've already explored the rest of the ship. There's nothing really going on right now as far as activities are concerned that we're interested in, so we'll go ahead and take a nap. And then, honestly, the primary reason why we're taking a nap is because we know we're going to be up later tonight because of the 80s party that's going on. So we have an 80s show in the theater, and then we have an 80s themed glow dance party at 10:30 at night. So we want to make sure that we are up and ready for that. So I don't know if you guys are hearing all that, but yeah, a lot of things going on out in the hallway. So yeah, we'll see you in a little bit.
2 hours later.
All right, nearly 2 hours later, we are up. That nap was really good and very much so needed, especially after the day I had yesterday where I was up for so many hours, only running on 2 hours of sleep. My saving grace for sleeping has been having earplugs. If I didn't have earplugs, I would be miserable right now. And I am so happy because that vent down there, it is a nightmare. Everybody walking by, we can hear their conversations. We can hear them talking all kinds of smack about people around them or people in their family. The tea that we're getting, ooh, the tea is piping hot, my friends. The tea is piping hot. But anyways, that's besides the point. We're up now. We're getting ready to head on down to dinner. And then we have a night full of 80s awesomeness. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of 80s music. Not that I was born in the 80s, so I don't know too much about it. But I love 80s music. So let's go ahead on down, have some dinner, and have some fun. Time for another dinner at the Monet restaurants. We have made it back to table 543 for dinner at the main dining room. And take a look at that. We have a little starfish here. I see a lot of these at different tables. I wonder what it's for. Or maybe just decoration, I guess. It's worth noting that tonight is actually elegant night, and as you can see, I am not in elegant wear. That's because thankfully, the dress code isn't strictly enforced when it comes to the main dining room, which is awesome. We can see that there's a good mix of people in elegant wear and people in more cruise casual. So that's really nice to know, is that there's really no pressure to, dress up in elegant wear. Now you can scan these QR codes on the table to get access to the main dining room menu. However, I do prefer a physical menu, so I do kindly ask for a physical one. They're gonna bring it out in just a moment. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the menu. For starters, we have crispy buttermilk calamari, crawfish fettuccine, shrimp cocktail, Caesar salad, spinach salad, a chilled strawberry and chia seed salad, creamy mushroom soup, and corn chowder. That looks really good. We also have the Bonsai Sushi Shrimp Boat that you can purchase. For Emerald Selections, we have beef carpaccio and herb crusted salmon. For salads, you can get a tuna narquois, I believe that is. And of course, every days, we have grilled chicken breast and sirloin steak. For our mains, we have crawfish fettuccine, a grilled jumbo shrimp and fish cake, chicken cordon bleu, a slow-cooked prime rib, a roasted vegetable lasagna, and an Indian vegetarian dish. We, of course, have our upcharged steakhouse selections, the same thing as yesterday pretty much. And for desserts, we have creme brulee, a panna cotta, a melting chocolate cake, you guys already know I'm going to get that again, and tropical fruit, as well as sorbet and a cheese plate. We're, of course, starting things off with a little bit of bread. No basket this time, again, but still, it looks very interesting, and it is warm. I love that. All right, appetizers have arrived. I opted for the fried calamari. I'm very interested to see how it tastes on Carnival. And then over here, for a soup, I opted for the cream of mushroom soup. Okay, unfortunately, we have another miss in the food department. The calamari was not good at all. It was overcooked, and it was rubbery, and the coating around it was bland and flavorless, so that was a miss. And the cream of mushroom soup, It was kind of cold. I mean, to be fair, I had it after the calamari, but it was pretty cold and didn't have much flavor in it at all. So, 2 disappointing starters. Hopefully the entrees can save it, but hopefully this isn't like how it's going to be in the future, because I've been impressed so far, thoroughly impressed. We'll see what happens. And take a look at that, guys. Icon of the Seas is literally right behind us. What the heck? That is awesome. Literally less than a month from now, we're about to board Star of the Seas, which is the sister ship to Icon. That is so cool. All right, the first of 2 entrees has arrived. I opted for the crawfish fettuccine. It looks and smells amazing, so let's dig in. And our second entree has arrived. I opted for the broiled strip loin steak with béarnaise sauce. Take a look at that. And then, of course, I had to end things off with the chocolate melting cake.
Touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, the times never seem so good, so good.
All right, dinner in the main dining room, night 2. Wasn't as good as what we had on the first night, I will admit, but it was still pretty decent. The appetizers were a bit of a miss, but the main entrees were okay. The steak was definitely a lot better than the fettuccine. You definitely have to really like crawfish in order to really enjoy that fettuccine dish. Next time, I would definitely get it as an appetizer portion, because there was an appetizer portion for that. But other than that, it was okay. Last night was definitely better. We made our way back up to deck 9 to the solarium just to kind of check out the crowd levels, and there's like no line at all for the pizza stands. Here's a look at the options. You have a margarita pizza, a fun guy pizza. You have, of course, pepperoni, 4 cheese, prosciutto, and a Caesar salad. And for $6, you can get a teriyaki chicken pizza or a Korean barbecue. So we came over to the Lido buffet to check it out and see what the options were, because we're not going to be coming back here to the buffet at all for the rest of the cruise. We're not going to be eating here tomorrow night. We're not going to be coming here in the morning for breakfast. We just wanted to check it out and see what the options were. And oddly enough, a lot of the options, almost all of the options here, are exactly the same as what you can get down in the main dining room, which is really interesting. They had the prime rib, they had the crawfish fettuccine, they had cordon bleu. A lot of the same stuff down there is what they have up here, so that's awesome. If you don't want to have a sit-down meal and kind of like wait around, you can just get it instantly up here. It is worth noting that for dinner, the second section of the buffet, the one that's closest to the pool area, is not open, so you have to go a little bit further back in order to get all the food. It is wild that Guy's Burger Joint is not really open for dinner. They close down at 6, so if this is something that you wanted to do for dinner, you gotta make sure you're here before 6. It is also worth noting that the Blue Iguana is closed as well.
Closed at 2:30.
Oh wow, did it really? Yeah. Oh my gosh. The Blue Iguana closed at 2:30 today. That is wild. Why do you have these crazy hours for these extra options? I mean, they only have it for lunch, but that's so weird. Over here on the big screen outside, they started showing Mufasa. That's really interesting. They're showing Disney movies out here. You know, it doesn't matter what ship you're on, the sunset views of the ocean are always going to be epic. Take a look at that. I never get tired of this view. You know, this is one of those times where I just feel truly privileged to be in the position that I am. Despite my prior feelings and preconceived notions regarding Carnival Cruise Line and everything, I have to still acknowledge just how blessed and privileged I am to be able to cruise as often as I do. That views like this are a regular thing for me. And I know that I am one of the luckiest guys in the world to be able to do this as a full-time job. And again, I mentioned this at the end of yesterday's video, but I had my own opinions of Carnival Cruise Line before I even got on board. And a lot of those opinions have been dashed and changed for the better. So that's a really good thing, and I'm very happy that I was able to do this cruise. I do see myself sailing Carnival again in the future. Am I necessarily going to pick this particular ship to sail again? No, mostly because there are like 20 other ships out there in Carnival's fleet, and I want to try them all. But it's still blows my mind is that I'm able to just be out here on the open ocean and do this for a living. And for that, I want to say thank you guys so much for everything. You guys are the ones who put me in this position. You guys have given me the ability to have this view on a regular basis, and I am eternally grateful. And I really do hope that you guys enjoy these videos. Before we head on down, I just want to point out some of the ships that are around us. Right behind us is the MSC Seashore, and down yonder this way, we saw them earlier, is Icon of the Seas. And in case you guys are wondering how I know this information, Cruise Mapper. It points out all the cruise ships around you. I highly recommend this app for anyone who's going on a cruise because it's a lot of fun. So we just got back to the room and I opened the door and bam, I got flashbanged. You know that one scene in iCarly where she opens the door and immediately gets blinded? Yeah, that was me right now. Wow guys, check this out. We made it up to the forward part of deck 6 to an outside viewing area. The sun's already gone down, but holy moly, this is so cool. You can see the nose of the ship right there. The bridge is literally right here, so we're right under where the captain would be. We can come on down this way. I think this is someone's stateroom over here actually. We're not gonna film that, but we can walk by. And this was like a little door that we can come on out over here. This is a public guest area. So I'm so happy that Steven had the idea to come out to this area because I had no idea that this area existed. He has been in this area on similar Carnival ships and it was a crapshoot as to whether or not this area existed on this ship, but it does. So it is deck 6 forward all the way. Just keep walking down and you'll see some doors that lead outside to this area. The only downside is that there are staterooms here and there's like staterooms all the way down. So these guys have like a forward facing ocean view with an obstruction right here because this is like this height on me. So it's really unfortunate for these guys that are over here, but to be fair, I don't think people come this way very often at all. It's still super nice. I love this, and it is a nice, calm, relaxing area. Definitely the greatest way to get away from the crowds and the noise of the ship. There were actually some stairs leading up to deck 7, so we could go up one level higher and take a look at that. The bridge is literally right here. That is nuts. So we're getting to see exactly what the captain sees out here. That is nuts. This is crazy. I love when ships have this, and I really wish, you know, Disney ships had this type of thing too. Like, you can't really get this kind of view. Like, the closest thing we get is on the Wish class ships where you can like go up to the nose over there, but something like this I really wish we had. And you know, like, okay, so I know you guys are gonna say, oh, you can do that on the top deck. We're not on the top deck, you know, we're on deck 7 and there's like deck 10, 11, 12 over there as well. So like, I really wish that other ships had this. I love this. All right, we have made it back to the main theater for tonight's main stage performance called 80s Pop to the Max. It is 80s night on board the Carnival Conquest. I'm very excited to see what they have in store. I also want to take a second to talk about the theater seating here on the Carnival Conquest Theater. You can see behind me, like, these are very wide seats. So like, there's space for 2 people here. But of course, you know, we're not going to be sitting right next to each other holding hands. So we're going to sit in separate seating. But we can see we have like larger seating over here. And then let me turn the camera around. So you have the larger seats over here, and then you have more traditional theater seating up on the back. And down here on the bottom, it's like the wider seating, and there's tables here as well, so you can like put your drinks on. So by no means is this like a traditional theater, and I really like it.
They just wanna
Made it up to the top deck for the 80s rock and glow party. You can see they're handing out glow sticks to everyone out here. I think this party's gonna be pretty cool. I'm excited.
Tonight, are y'all ready for an epic 80s party? Oh, you better believe it. Where are my 80s babies? Make some noise. Where are my babies that lived through the 80s? Where are my babies that are 80? There's a few of you. I knew there would be. Where's my 90s babies that all we had was our parents' 80s music? Alright, y'all, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You better be ready for an epic party. And it all starts with taking a little blast from the past. Let's do this. Alright, y'all. I need y'all to shake it up a little bit. Make sure you get it done. Now this side over here, from top to bottom, you are going to be my first we will. This side, you are my second we will. And everybody says rock you. Let me hear it. We will rock you. Hey! Air keyboard, y'all. Let's get this.
Oh my gosh, guys, check this out. A midnight buffet. It's technically 11:30 right now, but look, it's a midnight buffet. We have all the pizzas over here. We have sandwiches. We have chicken nuggets, hot dogs, French fries. We even have cookies over here. And what is that? Mango cream cake. And then I think we have the same thing on the other side as well. What the heck? That is awesome. And the best part is all of this is available until 2 a.m. That's crazy. My Disney Cruise Line mind can't comprehend this. This is awesome. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it back to the room, and day 2 of our Carnival cruise on board the Conquest has come to an end. Honestly, I am shocked at how great the entertainment is on board this Carnival ship. I'm not sure how it is on others, but right now on the Conquest, it's pretty awesome. And the cruise director, he is fantastic. He is so visible. He is everywhere on the ship for practically every activity. It is awesome. I love seeing him all over the place, and he has a great energy about him. But with all that being said, tomorrow is the big day. The whole reason why we got on this cruise to begin with. We are going to Celebration Key for the first time ever. We are the second cruise to ever go to that port. Today was its inaugural opening day with Carnival Vista, but now we are showing up on the Carnival Conquest. So if you guys are excited for that video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And if you enjoyed any part of today's video, please make sure you subscribe. If you made it all the way to the very end of this video, let me know you guys are the real MVPs by leaving the word Conquest down in the comments section below. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.